business. It's business time. Hang tight, we're gonna get into the business right here in a couple minutes. Baby, baby. It's business. It's business time. All right, we are here with week 26 of It's Business Time. We are joined by Tiara Holder of Universal Boss Queen, a.k.a.
Hi, everyone.
Tookie. Thank you so much for joining the show this week.
Of course. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for getting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the behind-the-scenes stories that people are going to have to follow us on Instagram and do all that fun stuff they want behind the scenes.
Yes, you have to tune in.
But for now, this is about you, your business.
Yes.
Before we get rolling, I always do like to give a quick shout-out to Stitch House. They, as well, are a small business. They are right here on Market Street.
Make sure you come visit.
They always have 12 beers on tap. So, it's always good to buy local. So if you're looking for a good place to eat, drink on Market Street, check out Stitch House. But with that, we are rolling. Tiara, again, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I love the way we met. Very, very kind of
Yes.
lots of different things connected.
Yes.
Before I start to list all those things, your company, Universal Boss Queen,
Yes.
you are a photographer,
Yes.
a videographer, digital content creator,
Yes.
all the things.
All of the above. Hence the Universal Boss Queen, because I'm universally at your service.
I love that. I love that. And so, so we cross paths at BBB.
Yes.
Bring Back Bars, right? Is that the...
Yes. So I believe that was run in association with the Delaware Music Network, Joe Bellardo.
Joe Bellardo, yep.
Yes, and it was an amazing show, amazing talent, good R&B vibes.
Songbird
Yes.
the Goddess.
Yeah, Songbird the Goddess,
There.
Blueski, Harvey in the band, Genesis, all of those guys.
Yeah.
Everybody did an amazing job that night. I definitely caught some content that night. You guys did amazing.
Yeah.
You could definitely check the little recap that I did on my page. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But yes, that's where we met. That's where I met.
Yep.
And it was a great show. And I think
was.
aren't they doing another one?
Yeah, it looked like they're doing something similar every month. And
Okay.
so just to recap, I'm gonna drop everyone up here, but Harvey Road and all the names you listed.
Yes. And I'm still getting acquainted with the underground music scene, but I love the Delaware underground music scene. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And my favorite part about this is, by doing this series, right, where I'm always looking for small business owners. So I go to this event, and you're taking pictures, you're taking video, you're handing people business cards,
Yes.
you're moving all around, and I could tell you're like really absorbed in the
Yes.
event, and I'm like, that looks like a small business owner right
Yeah.
there, like you living and breathing it, right? And then I think I did one of my favorite speeches there, which is like, this is the spot with the best sound.
Yes.
'Cause
I remember that.
Because
you came to get me from my table, and my friend was like, "What is he talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, he was just saying that." Oh, she was like, "You hear it better here?" I was like, "Yeah, just sit right here." And I was just like, "He said you can hear it better here," and I was like, "Okay, bet," because I'm always there to listen to the sound because I love getting so engulfed in like the music scene, especially the underground music scene, like Songbird the Goddess, Blueski. I think I met them the first time at the open mic at the Wilmington Library with the Delaware Music Network. I forget. I think it was back in like September, I believe. But that's where I had first started getting acquainted with them. But I honestly used to work for an entertainment company, so I used to be in the music scene a lot. Icons, Slim's open mic events, things of that nature. So I used to be a little bit in the entertainment scene, getting acquainted with the DJs, artists, engineers, all creatives, entrepreneurs, photographers, all types of things, which I definitely love. Networking is key.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell you.
That was the joke I was winding up to is it's like what happens when two networking people bump into each other at a show. This is what happens. But yeah, I definitely want to take a second to give a shout out to Delaware Music Network and also give a thank you to Icons, formerly Oddity, now Icons, for hosting so many wonderful events there.
Yes, and tomorrow, guys, if you are free, they do a ladies' night every Thursday. Ladies get in free all night, so come turn up.
Yeah. So now we've gotten all the people surrounding you out of the way. Now I want to talk about you a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. So I like to kind of bring it back to the beginning. What were you doing before Universal Boss Queen? You don't have to name names if you don't want to.
Oh, no, child. Open book. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So
what were you doing before, and then what was like kind of that moment? And you know, watch the mic a little bit, right, for the boom. The boom. Yeah. You know, you're good. You're good. I love the excitement. I don't want to tamper that, but
of course,
you know, I want to make sure that people can hear you well and everything. But so what were you doing before, and then what was like that moment where you said, you know what, it's time to strike out on my own. I know I can do this.
Yes.
Build a brand on my own. Like, tell us a little bit about the early days in your mind when you transferred from someone else's world to the small business world, to your world, yeah.
Yes, of course. So it honestly started back in 2021. I was just going through a lot of things mentally. And I just realized I used to work at home as an account manager. So like around the time in the summertime, the call volumes get high. I was like not in a place mentally, and it's like, how can I help other people with their problems when I'm going through my own right now? And I just wasn't in a mental space to really be working at the moment. So I decided to leave Discover. And then after that, I was looking for another job. And I was getting interviews. Like, getting a job was never hard for me, but I feel like it just wasn't calling to me anymore. Like traditional, I did want to step out of my comfort zone and do something different, because normally I would work in customer service, retail, restaurant, things of that nature. And I really just wanted to expand. I wanted to do something different. And that's really what my heart was at. But I didn't, and then it got to a point, I'm getting jobs, and like, I really didn't want to stay. I think I landed probably like 2 jobs that I never really took seriously, like that I ended up leaving in a short amount of time, because yes, they were good opportunities, but it just wasn't aligning with me. And then at the time, like, I'm going through a lot, like in between homes, don't have transportation, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot going on. So it's just like, this is not a good fit for me. And then I realized, and then it like hit me like, in my spirit, like, you're called to do more than traditional work type. Like, you're called to do more than these traditional 9-to-5s, because I had to think about it. Like, I don't want my time to be limited. I like the flexibility of being on my own time. I like to create on my own time. I like to create, you know what I'm saying, to my own capacity too. And that's really what it was. So I had ordered my camera way before I even made that decision. So I had my camera already. So then after I made that decision, I realized, you know what, at some point, and I also am it's spirituality too, so I do read cards and things of that nature. So when I was living in my car, I was doing readings out my car, on TikTok, posting, learning how to read tarot, you know, moving around and things of that nature. So either way it goes, like, I was more so banking on myself, putting the bet and taking the risk on myself, that even though it's going to start off slow, might struggle a little bit, might deal with the delays, might deal with the stagnancy. At the end of the day, I know if I keep working at it, keep doing what I do, keep putting myself out there, my hard work is going to pay off. And that's really the mindset that I was at when I started that. So then it started with photography. And then me being the versatile female that I am, I just expand, because I like ideas, I like creativity, I like to create. So it's like, okay. And I've been writing for years, but I never really took music seriously. So like, as far as me being an artist and getting more in tune with like my music, and, you know what I'm saying, going into professional recording studio and things of that nature, that was something like I never really thought of until like I came across the people that I came across working for the team, which again, shout out to New Wave, that's where I used to work. More so specifically, shout out to Genesis and Tisa. And so like, that's really where I was at. So as I got acquainted with them, and I learned more, and I started taking my music more seriously. So now I'm doing that. So now artist is now under my hat. Now I was already a photographer, already a tarot reader. Like now I'm getting into digital art and designing and stuff like that, digital products and things of that nature. UGC, content creation. Like, these are all things that are like calling to me, and I'm just picking up. Social media management, you feel what I'm saying? Content creation. All this stuff has all been like peaks of interest to me. But overall, I just knew I wanted to do something that I loved that did not feel like a job, while also having that flexibility. So that's where I'm at with it. And as of now, I'm blossoming. My clientele is building up. I'm, you know what I'm saying, networking with beautiful and creative people, artists, creatives, you know, business moguls, entrepreneurs. It's such a beautiful thing. Like, collabing, I plan on putting on my own show, my own concert in the summertime. So collabing with dope people, dope artists. Definitely just want to put on for Delaware. I have to put on for my city before I leave my city, because we deserve so much more than that. And I want us to get out of this small state mentality. Like, everybody can win. It's a piece for everybody. Like, it's not about who's the best and who's, like, y'all always are trying to fight who would be the best or who takes a certain title. Like, we can all win because we all have different talents. We all have different capabilities. Like, we should be able to grow and expand and collab with each other without that secret competition and, you know, that secret animosity of comparing yourself to where they're at and what they're doing.
I would say, you know, I don't to compete. I want to collaborate.
Exactly.
You know, but real quick after that was a beautiful speech.
Yes.
Can you feel the
entrepreneurial
spirit in that? I mean, that was incredible. You walked us through a journey from the beginning to where you're at now, and a lot of the things that you do now. I want to go back a little bit in the beginning, right? Like maybe like first photography session, or the first time someone really asked you to get outside of that early. Because here's the thing, right? As an entrepreneur, like you have all these products, right? You can do videography, you can do photography, you can do all these things.
Yes.
But a lot of this series, in my mind at least, is for those who haven't started yet, who are insecure about where to begin, right? So that's why I like to kind of drill down a little bit on those early days. Like, was it family, friends? Like, who gave you that first job where you said to yourself, oh my gosh, this might actually work?
Honestly, my family has like always like value my creativity, and like normally, like when I first started using my camera more before I even opened my bookings, they were my biggest fans. Oh, T, can you take a picture? Oh, can you get a picture? Do you got your camera with you? You feel what I'm saying? I used to like take little pictures. My nephew used to do soccer. I used to do like little video recaps of him and stuff like that. And it's like, it was never about the money for me. I did like in my introductory stages, I know I had to offer myself grace to build my clientele. So it's never about the money for me.
Gotcha.
So more so I do stuff out of love. I do stuff to create. And then 9 times out of 10, who doesn't want to take a couple pictures and feel pretty and, you know what I'm saying, feel good about themselves. And, you know, like that's really where I was at with that, because it was never about the money. Like I honestly didn't start getting paid gigs up until, I want to say like this past summer. So probably like when I started like collaborating with my team and stuff like that, that's when I kind of like started getting aligned with more like paid opportunities. But like that situation fell down, and then now I'm back on my own now. Like I still have good people. I still have a good team behind me, good support system. But it's me. It's what about, you know what I'm saying, protecting my brand, protecting my vision, and that's honestly where I've been at. So honestly, I would say it was my family, but more so like because I do stuff out of love, you have to remember you get what you put out. So if I'm doing stuff out of love, then when people definitely want to work on these projects, definitely have like pick things they want to do, I already built that rapport with you. Like, and that's what I love. Like even though when I go out to shows and get, you know, picture artists, like I told you, I'm close with Songbird and a couple of the underground artists, Blue Ski, a lot of artists. And it's like I used to always be at those events with my team, like getting pictures, getting content, all the time. And like, that's really what it is. And like now, like fast forward now, like I was doing that for them now. Fast forward, me and Songbird just did a Valentine's Day shoot. Fucking fire. Like,
I saw that.
Like we did that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I work with Blue Ski sometimes. Like, you know, I'm getting reached out for appearances, shows, and things of that nature. So it's now like I'm breaking ground to the things I've been working so hard towards.
And I mean, the network just grows and grows every day.
Yes.
And I mean, that story is really common. A lot of people, when they start out business, they don't really turn much of a profit for the first couple years. And it's largely because they're building their network. They're trying to understand where they fit in that market. So I had someone on early on in the series, and he used the analogy. And it's a clunky analogy, but when you're starting out a business, you're like a dog in a dumpster, right? You don't know what's nutritious. You're just eating everything. You're just trying to pick up work here and do this and collab there. And like a lot of stuff is free. A lot of stuff's unpaid. And I think what happens to a lot of people is they do this for 3 months, 6 months, unpaid. And they're like, I can't do this. Isn't working. They go back to the 9 to 5. And they don't realize that was all part of, you know, building
it's a
their
part
network.
of the process. Like, word of advice, do not let the money discourage you or leave you in a lack mindset and to focus on what's not getting done. Because at the end of the day, you still get an opportunity to create. You still get an opportunity to put a smile on somebody's face. You still get an opportunity to get your work out there and to continue to perfect your craft. It's never about the money. So you have to realize, as entrepreneurs, it's kind of inevitable that we deal with the stagnancy and the delays because we have to build up our clientele. You know what I'm saying? Now, social media marketing is a thing. So it's like we got to market ourselves properly. We got to brand ourselves properly. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I personally think, like, as far as creatives and entrepreneurs, you need to have a business card. Like, it's so many artists. I'll go out and where can I find you? And they'll say the Instagram. You may have not heard the Instagram name, like, and things of that nature. That's why I carry my business cards with me. And everybody's like, you stay with those. And I was like, I do. Like, you got to. Like, because, like, when people want to know more about you, they want the convenience of learning how to find you, like not just, you know, putting that in their phone. Like, we always do that, exchange Instagrams and stuff like that. But, you know, you want something tangible, like something that's memorable for people. Like, as entrepreneurs, it's inevitable that we deal with that.
Yeah.
And that is okay. Like, you're going to go a minute but then at the end of the day, you have to think about it. Don't worry about, oh, well, I didn't get paid. Well, think about it like this. Oh, well, I might not have got paid for those gigs, but shoot, they really like my work. Oh, my God, I finally got to practice doing this. Oh, I finally got to create this. Oh, I finally got to knock out this idea. Oh, I finally learned, like, what not to do in this situation if I want to carry out this idea. So it's like you have to give yourself that grace for trial and error. Yeah. It's okay, because imagine, put it into perspective, and I use this quote a lot. If I gave it to you now when you wasn't ready, you wouldn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So it's like those are preparation steps at the end of the day. So it's like you dealing with that, you not getting paid, you learning how to use your camera. You know what settings do what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Learning what, so components mean what. It's like all a learning process. So it's like, yes, you can be very good at, anybody can pick up a camera, but you can give the tools, but you can't teach the technique. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
No, and I mean, I can tell just by your position on, like, it's a learning process, right? It's all about growing. It's fun too, because I feel like I'm getting the chance to interview at the beginning of a real pitch. Like, you're really? definitely gonna. I can tell you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna keep going. But one thing I wanted to add on to that, because I was actually just talking to a friend about this. Actually, Genesis, you know Genesis. Yes. And we were kind of talking about, like, producing and bringing us to the next level. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of brainstorming, like, ways to kind of level up a little bit. And this is something that I will say for anybody. But you were just talking about how, like, kind of you might not be ready when something comes to you.
Right.
And my advice is, like, do like a little, like, self-reflection journey, right? And go to someone that you want to work with, right? That you want to work with one day, and say to them, I want to do a project for you. I want you to pay me $20,000 for that project. Mm-hmm. Would you do that now? And they say, no, you're not ready. And then you say, well, what do I need to do? What are the steps so that in 6 months when I come to you with a proposal, you do say yes?
Exactly.
Right? And that's what I call reverse engineering success, right? You talk to someone who can open a door, bring you success, and you say, if I'm not ready now, how do I get ready?
Exactly.
Like, give me a list. You know, and that's a humility, I think, that any small business owner benefits from, is saying, like, even though I'm not there yet, like, I'm all ears and I'm learning. You already, like.
Yes, and I feel like it's definitely important for people to be receptive to feedback, because you could want your thing a certain type of way, but you have to be open to feedback. Even if you don't necessarily use that feedback, at least consider it to some level of aspect, because a lot of the times people do like the I know everything mindset. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. And that's not going to get you far. Like, if you are not open to other suggestions, you know what I'm saying, collaborations, ideas, you know what I'm saying, critiques, stop right here. Stop right here, because you are not going to make it far in your business, because because you're allowing yourself to stay closed-minded. Mm-hmm. How do you expect for people to continue to work with you or want to work with you if you can't even work with yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's important.
That's the mindset side of things, too, like, for sure.
You have to collab. Like, I know, like, I used to work with somebody, and anytime you would, like, critique, like, you know what I'm saying, say something or offer him a suggestion, it could just be, like, a lighthearted suggestion. Well, I want to do it this way, and this is the No. Stop talking. Stop talking.
I like that character.
Oh, they love that. Y'all, they love that. They love it when I mock like that. It makes them laugh. Yeah. But, yeah, it's like, but why are you even, you know what I'm saying? That's okay if you want it a certain way. It's like, you know what? Honestly, because then at that point, if you are the first to rebuttal before you consider the feedback, again, you're closed-minded. Instead of be like, you know what, I actually will think about that. Mm-hmm, and then as you think about it, and it's not even that you have to take their whole suggestion, you can take bits and pieces and utilize it in your own way. Yeah. And that's what people, like, they swear, like, oh, like, that constructive criticism, like, you can't hear constructive criticism. It is okay. People are going to critique your work. Yeah. My stylist will critique me when I really need her to all the time. Like, I will ask her for advice, and she will come to me, like, because she's getting into doing her content now, like, and trying to post more and things of that nature. So she always, like, asks me, like, Tookie, like, content creator advice, like, what do you think I should do? And I told her, like, there's definitely some more styling content you can do and stuff like that, because honestly, again, as a social media manager, I've learned, like, the niches, you know what I'm saying, target audience and things of that nature. So it's like, what does your audience want to see? All right, if you like stylists, they like to see the outfits. They like to see you styling. They like to see you critique looks. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like all tailoring content towards your target audience. So it's like, she'll come to me, but it's like an exchange of you know what I'm saying, ideas. And she told me the other day, we made a little vlog. She was like, I definitely think, you know what I'm saying, when you go on Instagram, you know, you want shorter videos. Like the algorithm values the shorter videos, the videos that are a minute or less.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, and I definitely been wanting to implement, like, you know what I'm saying, posting like trailers or snippets on my page and then leading them to my YouTube so I can grow my YouTube. And I thought about that and I was like, I've been wanting to do that, but I was like, then it'll take me time to like do the full video and then the trailer. But I'm like, it ain't nothing to start today. So she was like, I love that you think like that. And I was like, really though, because that's important. Because yes, I may have a certain idea, and yes, it's like, okay, that is gonna be an extra step. But thinking about it, I work smarter, not harder anyway. So whatever that extra step would be, it's not gonna take me too much extra time outside of what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's important. And then in turns, it's aiding my brand. Okay, so now I get to build up my YouTube. Cool. Now I get to, you know what I'm saying, organize more content when I don't really know what to post at the time and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's overall, like, it's a domino effect when you're more receptive and when you're more open and when you're willing to receive rather than deflecting, rather than projecting. You feel what I'm saying? Like, all of that, it's not going to get you far.
Yeah, definitely. No, we were talking a little bit off camera beforehand.
Yes.
Just about, like...
we can't tell you what I'm out, though.
Yeah, right. But you know how some people have certain strengths, right? And those strengths complement other strengths, and then they find people to complement weaknesses. It's kind of that whole kind of scale. And I guess I was talking a little bit more about this with Stace. You were talking to Ange for a moment there, but
shout out to Angie, guys.
Just like shout out to Ange. But how like entrepreneurial spirit, right? Is it. You need some energy, you need some humility, you need a lot of different things to kind of keep that train on the tracks. And just sitting next to you for a minute, like mindset, I'm like ready to like, all right, let's stop the podcast. Let's go build a business. Like, you know, it's you got an inspiring energy about it. And I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of times when people have that energy, like they get tunnel vision and they run.
Yes.
But you seem to have some good self-awareness too, with that humility and stuff.
Of course.
So let's bring it back to like stuff that's scalable, because a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they can't wake up tomorrow and be Tookie, right?
Of course.
They can't wake up and have that kind of energy, have that type of vision. So is there something that you've done that a lot of other people can do to kind of grow that network? Is there a trick to this? Trick's not a good word, but is there like a repeatable process that has really helped you kind of create more offerings? Or maybe think too, like, is there a client or someone you've worked with that when it was all done, they were like, you blew me away, like out of the play?
Honestly, most of the people I work with.
Yeah, I love it.
Honestly, because they're like, dang, I didn't know you did that. Like, I'm like, they're like, oh my God, I love this. Is so far. Like, I literally screenshot anytime anybody like gives me reviews. I have a highlight on my business page.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, honestly, the advice I would really give that honestly will work for me, like I said, stop focusing on the money, the financial aspect of it. If you more so do it for the love of you, because again, if you're an entrepreneur, you're carrying around the mindset of you want to do something that you love so it doesn't feel like a job. Yeah. So with that being said, don't focus too much on the financial return, because you will get there. Yeah. And I think that's really what it is. Like offering yourself grace. That's really what it is. Offer yourself the grace. That's really what has worked for me. Because yes, I would have loved to get paid back then, or you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. Like, yes, of course. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm making people happy.
I know, right.
I get to create. I get to expand my skills. I get to, you know what I'm saying, work with different editing programs, find my technique. You feel what I'm saying? Find my methods. You feel what I'm saying? That's why my turnaround time is the fastest in Delaware. Ask anybody. Ask anybody. My turnaround time is the fastest.
That seems like a great segue. Turnaround time, the fastest Delaware.
Work smarter, not harder is the method.
Yeah.
Okay, do things where you can do it efficiently, but you know what I'm saying, you're not overworking yourself. That's really the main key.
I have like 3 people in mind. I can't wait to send your direction, honestly. Yes. But so I do want to keep these somewhat digestible, around 20, 25 minutes.
Of course.
I enjoy talking so much that sometimes they go
I know
long.
We get sidetracked. Sorry, guys, I talk a lot.
But I want to make sure, like, particularly when you talk about turnaround time and all the skills and that you do, I want to make sure to give you a proper commercial.
Of course.
So what's the best way that people can find you? What's your preferred way? Is that through Instagram, or what's your preferred way for folks to find you?
I prefer you guys to find me through Instagram. So that would be D as in dog, A, Rose as the flower, 2.0 on Instagram. So you can find me there. So that will be my business page. That's where you can check out my work, my link trees to my music and things of that nature. My main page is also linked in my bio, so feel free to follow that one as well. It's all connected to the same person. But for the most part, that is where you can reach me. I also have a, if you're more a Facebook person, I do have a Facebook, Universal Boss Queen. You can look up. You can find me there as well.
Universal Boss Queen. All right. Now, they know how to find you, which is awesome. I want to end with like one big question.
Of course.
Do you have like an ideal client? Let's see yourself a year from now, 2 years, 5 years. Okay. Right? Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you working with? Because I saw a big, and you don't have to name names, but music industry, arts. Like I'm just, because you made my job really easy today. Normally I ask a lot of questions to pull out information, but you were like, boom,
I'm going.
Boom, I got it. She made my job very, very easy. So I'm trying to, before we let you go, I'm trying to get some texture out of that brain of yours.
Of course. It's a big one, guys.
The future. Where are you headed? Where do you want to be?
Okay.
Let's do 2 years. Let's keep it reasonable, right?
Perfect. That's
Are you winning a Grammy? Or are you a social media campaign manager for like a celebrity? Like where any?
Honestly, I could be all of those things, guys. I don't limit myself because, and nothing's impossible for me. But honestly, ideally, like to give y'all an idea where I see myself, like mostly even though I do a lot, I kind of focus on like a kind of like handful just so I don't overwhelm myself because I know that I am versatile and I do know how to do a lot. Like as far as like the rest of what I do creatively, entrepreneurially, I do upon request. You feel
Sorry, I missed that.
On request.
On request,
yes,
right.
On request.
Got you.
So I definitely, in 2 years, I definitely see my music blowing up. My album is out. It's going viral. Dope content circling, going viral. I definitely see my photography getting better. I see myself in campaigns, model campaigns, also model too, guys. I ain't tell y'all that. But y'all, I feel like y'all should have knew. But anyway, but yes, I definitely see me on billboard campaigns, working with major brands, collaborating. I see myself honestly doing a lot, but for the most part, definitely been stepping more into my model bag. Creative directing is definitely something I want to do more. I want to creative direct for some big artists. J. Cole's my favorite artist, y'all.
Yeah, nice. All right, yeah. Well,
Earth Gang. Shout out to Dreamville. I dreamed to work with Dreamville one day. One of these days.
If you know him, make sure to link up.
Jermaine, Lamar Cole. Tiara Jamira Holt loves you.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, I have loved you. JID, I also love you. Earth Gang, I love you. Ari Lennox, Bass, all of you guys, I love you.
Love it.
Yeah, shout out. I also want to shout out a few of my favorite underground artists in Delaware. Sorry, Kiana Hunt. Who else? That boss Kiana. Who else? Sorry, two Kianas. Blueski, Songbird, Mercy. Freak.
You got it.
Who else? I know I have plenty because there's so many I love. Who am I missing? Myself, obviously. White Tiger. Shout out to White Tiger. Yeah. Shout out to White Tiger. Who else? Shout out to TME. Shout out to WoWo. Shout out to who else? Oh my God, I have so many of y'all. But anyway,
so much work. I don't know if I can put all these.
But anyway, shout out to anybody who I've ever been a fangirl in the freaking crowd for. That's what I'm just gonna leave that at.
Nice. I love it. Thank you so much for coming through. It's business time.
Thank you for having me.
Your energy is absolutely infectious.
Oh, yes, it is. I told you that.
Your vision, great. I mean, this has been really, really exciting too. And like, I'm like a little understated right now. It's been a long week for me, but like you've just, I know, right? You've just completely reinvigorated me. I can't. I'm
that
looking.
Means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, thank you so much for joining. It's business time.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for getting me on.
Again, Tiara Holder. Of Universal Boss Queen, Darose 2.0.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming through. It's business time. That's it for week 26. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See you later.
It's business.